Hi guys, welcome back to Artec, and in this video we'll be reviewing the Deebot Osmo 950. Let's go.
So first we'll have a look at what's in the box that you get. Mainly we have the robot vacuum cleaner, then we have the mopping accessories such as the water tank, the mopping plate and the reusable mopping cloth, the charging dock and charging cable, basic, and we have the dustbin on top and the brush roll suction and the cleaning tool to clean up any dust or anything on the brushes. Next we have the extra accessories. Comes with the quick start guide, the main manual where you can clarify any of your doubts. We get an extra HEPA and sponge filter apart from the ones that come installed in the robot, which is really handy. We have two extra side brushes and they are color coded, so easy to use and identify. The direct suction mount without the brush, which uses only vacuuming, and we have the disposable mopping pads.
So here we have the robot vacuum cleaner itself. It's a sleek black finish with a kind of texture on the inside, and you can see this is the EcoVax logo on top of the LiDAR sensor. That's what helps it navigate across the house, and it uses Smart Navi 3 technology. You can also see the Deebot naming here. This is a multi-function button, but it's shown as power button because it's mainly for telling it to start cleaning, or pause cleaning, or go to the charging dock and things like that. Inside, this is the flap where you open it. So we have the dustbin here where all the dust gets collected. It has a high efficiency HEPA filter, and you just click this and it comes open. This is a little mesh right here, protects big particles, and then you just empty the trash out like this into the dustbin. Have this little flap here so that the dust doesn't get out when the machine is not on. And when you open this, we get the sponge filter, which also catches a lot of dust. It's very important. And after that we have the HEPA filter, and this mesh filter catches up the main bigger particles. The sponge filter catches a little smaller particles, and the HEPA filter catches all of them. And the HEPA filter can just be dusted away. All the dust gets removed. The sponge filter also can be washed. The dustbin without the HEPA filter can also be rinsed and kept for drying in the sun. This here is a neat little cleaning tool. It's got a blade to remove any hair from the main brush roll, which I will explain in a few moments. And it's got a little brush that can just take out dust from anywhere in case there is any left out there. And it sits neatly in its compartment. This here is the main power on and off button. It's the general on and off switch. This is the Wi-Fi reset button in case you need to reset the Wi-Fi setting in it or anything like that. That's about it from the top. Let's go to the bottom. So this is the bottom part of the robot. As you can see, these are the two side brushes that it uses to push dust into the suction area. This is the brush roll attachment, which is like ideal for carpets or mostly any kind of home. This is the main unit, and this is the brush which basically rotates and sucks in the dust from the floor. If you remove this, you can clean it off like that, and as I explained earlier, you can just take the tool like this, cleaning tool like this, and pass it on this, and any hair caught up in the brush will be taken care of. You can just dispose the hair or any thread or anything like that, and then again you can use this brush to clean off any residue dust that is left on that. These are the main wheels. Basically they go up and down like suspension. They also act as sensors to allow the robot to sense whether it's off the floor or on the floor. This is the area for the water tank to go in. Here is the water suction area where the robot takes in water to leave it out of these pores onto the mopping pad. We have 6 cliff detection sensors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So it's pretty much covered from all places, and you don't need to worry about it falling off the floor. Right here in this little hole is the carpet detection sensor. so that helps it to not mop on carpets and increase the suction power when it's moving on carpets. And these are the charging charging plates that go and rest on top of the charging plates in the charger, which I will show you in a moment. This is the general bumper, so that it will just go and touch objects to recognize where it is. This is the free wheel, just rotates in any direction and moves around to help the robot to move. And yeah, that's about it. Even cleaning the side brushes is really easy. Just pull it apart like this. Even if you want to replace the side brushes, it is the same process. You just pull the old ones apart and put in the new ones. Comes off easily. And there is another mount, like suction mount, that is given in the box along with this. All the accessories that I have shown are given in the box. So the other mount is mainly for hardwood floors. This mount, as much as I know, can be used to like any floor type, but that mount is only for hardwood floors, and this mount will do especially good in carpets and soft floors, that kind of stuff. So here we have the mopping accessories that you saw in the previous slide. This here is the water tank. It's a 240 ml water tank, which is really good in its class. It holds up water to clean around 1000 square feet on medium water level, and it is an electronically controlled water pump. So you can choose from low, medium, high and ultra levels of water depending on your floor type. Medium is what comes as default. You can change it in the advanced mode settings. This is the washable and reusable microfiber mopping cloth with like a cushion kind of thing, the velcro to stick onto the plate. The cushion really helps into getting into like slightly lower places in the floor instead of just being a flat cloth that just goes on one level. It's really easy to install this. You first clip this on with the water in. This is currently empty. You take this mopping cloth, snap it in just like that and stick it onto the velcro. Once that's done, you just need to put it in, align it to the area where it needs to go.
Mopping plate has been installed.
And it recognizes the mopping plate and goes into mopping mode. It's really convenient, really easy to use. The charging dock and charging cable. So this is the basic charging dock. These are the charging contacts. So the robot just comes in and places itself onto this. You can see that clip in the other clips when I show it cleaning. Here we have the accessory pack and the disposable mopping pads. Let's just open up the disposable mopping pads. So these are the disposable mopping pads. They are good quality, but I don't recommend using these always because they wear out really easily, and mainly it is given to be used only when the main pad is not dry, or after washing the main pad and it's not dry, or your main pad is not working properly, or it's torn or something like that. Here we have the accessory pack. You have 2 extra side brushes. They come in handy if your main side brushes get spoiled or have some damage in them. You can just replace them easily. This is the manual quick start guide in warranty. I showcased it before. This is the extra HEPA and sponge filter. They're new and you can replace them, and the sponge filter and HEPA filter that come with the robot get old and don't function properly. This is the direct suction mount. So the direct suction mount doesn't use any brush. It will just directly suck up all the dust. In some cases it is not so good. So unless and until you are not going to clean carpets at all and have only hardwood flooring, only then you have to use this. Otherwise go with the brush mount. So this is also the charging cable. So the charging cable fits snugly into the charging port. So it's a neat thing. You can wrap around the cable around these in case you need a shorter length cable, or you can just leave it like this and tie it at the end, just like how I have done. So this charging dock basically doesn't do anything but gives out a signal from this black area over here, and it's not visible, but it gives out a signal from that black area, and the robot basically detects where it is and goes and aligns itself up.
I am starting the cleaning.
Now I'll just show you a demo of the cleaning. So you can see it gives out voice reports to you, such as when it's starting to clean, or the cleaning is paused, or the water level is changed, and when the cleaning is done, or you install the mopping plate and things like that. They are helpful. And this robot first goes around all the corners, finishes the corners and the edges, and first take care of the side, and then comes in the center to do the zigzag motion, which you will see right now. So now the robot completed the border cleaning, and as you can see, the mopping lines are there. This is with the mopping and vacuuming together. So now it will begin the zigzag cleaning for the center. Next, after this, I'll just show you a quick clip of the robot moving around a chair, so you can see how it will clean around the chair's legs or around any of your furniture. I'd prefer you take out any other furniture that can be lifted and carpets, because unless and until your carpet is for the whole room or anything like that, if the carpet is just like a bathroom mat, I prefer you remove it, because the robot is going to get stuck on that and not clean anything else.
Cleaning is complete. Returning to the charging dock.
So that is another voice report that you get, so that it informs you saying it's done. And here you can also see how the robot goes back to its charging dock and aligns itself and gets into the charging position. You don't have to worry anything about that. You just need to come and take care of the cleaning of the robot.
I'm starting to charge. Please
Now let's go check out the cleaning with the chair. Now I will give you a demo of the carpet cleaning. So this is what I said. The robot does roll up the carpet a bit, unless it's like a really thick and heavy carpet. This is one of the thick carpets I have, so I just pull it on to show you. Sometimes it rolls it up completely and just doesn't do any cleaning at all. It just gets stuck and calls you for help in the app. The app gives you a notification saying the robot is stuck, so you can come and free it up. But in this clip you can also see that the robot is recognizing the carpet and increasing its suction. It goes from like a low noise level to a slightly higher noise level, so that is when it increases its suction. You can also see in the carpet the brush rolls up the carpet's fabric,
Returning to the charging
so
dock.
the fur is lifted up and rubbed against to take out the dust. So I've just typed in the specifications and special features and given them a rating out of 10. So we have the 430 ml dustbin and 240 ml water tank. I give it a 10 because they're big, don't run out of water, or the dustbin doesn't clog up too much, so you can cover a good area. Then we have up to 1500 pascal suction, that is at max plus mode, which I give it a 10 because those modes work really well and they also help you in getting everything clean, spick and span. We have 4 levels of water dispensing: low, medium, high and ultra. Low is not suggested until and unless there are some spills on the floor that you just need to wipe off. If you need to mop the floor, you can put it to medium, high or ultra. Ultra is also not suggested always unless your floor absorbs the water, because ultra will cause the robot to slip. Then we have the LiDAR navigation with Smart Navi 3. That's really good, maps the house really well and it's accurate for the no-go zones and this area cleaning, so that's a 9. The carpet detection sensor is also a 9 because it's really fast and it immediately shifts the suction from standard. If you put the suction to quiet, it won't do anything, but if it's in standard, it will move up to max plus to suck up all the dust from the carpets. That's really good. It's really quick and it won't mop on the carpets because of that sensor. The 3 hours of runtime on standard suction is really good, very good. It's almost best in the class, second to only other D-bots. The obstacle climbing is also it's a 7. It's not the greatest powers of this, but it does get the job done. So sometimes it won't be able to climb carpets or small thresholds, so that is 7. Then we have corner cleaning. It's a slightly bad aspect of the round shape, so it doesn't get into corners so well and even doesn't vacuum the corners unlike the squarer Samsung and Nutos, so that's a 5. The automatic charge and resume cleaning is nothing but when you have the charge go low, it will go charge and resume its work. Carpet cleaning is an 8, does it really well, gets the dust from inside the carpets. Multi-floor mapping is also an 8. You can save 2 maps and you can get another extra map just lying there, so you can totally have 3 maps for you, so that's really useful for multi-story houses. And then we have the efficiency, which is overall efficiency, though I put navigation is what provides efficiency, so that is a 9. Doesn't redo areas it's already done and really efficient that way. So let's move on to the pros and cons. So here we have the pros and cons. We'll go through the pros first. So the battery life is the best in the class, as I told earlier. It's only second to D-bots and very few other robotic vacuum cleaners. It comes with both vacuum and mop features, ideal for hard and polished floors. So the mopping feature really makes the floor spick and span. Any stains or any spills can be removed and the vacuum takes up all of the dust. So in some vacuum cleaners you get only the vacuum option, so if you are like a stone flooring or anything like a smooth finished flooring, you can go for the mopping because it's really useful. Then we have the water level control. It's really accurate, and it's really helpful when you have different floorings in your house. You can save up to 2 maps in the save option, and you can have another map up just being there. It cannot be saved or named or anything, but you can edit it. So basically it's like 3 maps and the multi-floor mapping. Then we have the maintenance and cleaning. You need not do it after every cleaning unless the cleaning was really after a long time and it was really dirty. So that is good. You can do it after 2-3 cleans. Now for the cons. The corner cleaning is not really great, as I explained right now. And the robot slips if the water level is high or ultra and finds it hard to climb thresholds as the wheels get wet. It won't slip and slide away, but it will find it hard to move. Some accessories and spares are not available to buy in some cities. So for me, I found it hard to get hold of the reusable mopping pad. So that is a thing to consider in case you are looking for spares. So before buying, just check if you can find your spares. Next we have the noise level. It is a sacrifice for the power it offers. So the noise level is high when put to max and max plus modes due to the higher suction, and it does not have an auto empty dustbin, which is basically when it goes and docks into its charging station, the charging station will take care of cleaning the dustbin, and you don't have to do it every time. You might have to only take care of the mopping. So that is there in the Deebot Osmo T8 AIVI. Is the recent model from Deebot. It's one of its flagships. So if you are worried about cleaning it every time you put it for cleaning the house, then you can check that model out. And those were the pros and cons. Let's move on to the ending. Thanks for watching.
So that was the review of the Deebot Osmo 950. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Take care. Bye bye.